iPhone 12 review. Before I continue, a word from my sponsor. The sponsor of this video is the subscribe button, and that's all you need to do. And the sponsor decided that there's going to be an iPhone 12 mini giveaway on this channel. So if you want to be here when that happens, when the iPhone 12 mini launches, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will get a video where everything will be in there. iPhone 12 mini giveaway. You can win it. It's international. So go ahead. Buttons down there, bells next to it. Let's start this video. So here in my hand, I have the iPhone 12 Pro, and I've been using this phone for a couple of days now, almost a week. And I have my thoughts. If I would have to describe this phone in a couple of words, I would say beautiful, minimalistic, and a small step back. So in order for you to understand, there's no problem with this phone. It's a magnificent phone, but there are some aspects where I compared it to the iPhone 11 Pro, which I was using for a year, and I feel it's lacking. What's better in this? We'll get to it. So first off, the design. The design is superior, as per my point of view, to the previous versions. Going back to the roots, to the iPhone 5S and 5 design is, I think, a great decision. And this phone looks like a jewel. I can't stop looking at it, I can't stop holding it, I can't stop adoring this phone. Even though they took away my favorite color, the green, the midnight green, which I think was one of the best choices Apple has ever had. I wouldn't go for the blue again, so after using it, it kind of feels boring. In different kind of lights, you kind of have a feeling that it's actually gray, not blue, and I loved that in the sunlight, the green was really, really green, and it was really outstanding, and I think that's a more appropriate color. This is more elegant, this is more minimalistic. It's not so outstanding, but you have the color options, obviously, with the 12 series. With the design, you have the boxy design. The only curves on this phone are on the 4 corners. Neither do the glass, nor the sides, nor the back have any curves. I especially love the fact that it's a flat glass. For one, it's more durable. Obviously, you have the new ceramic shield built into this glass in the front, or the new ceramic shield, the ceramic molecules are within the glass, so it's a lot durable. Now, as Jerry Rig Everything put it, a glass has multiple sides. You have the top, you have the bottom, and you have each side. In this phone, it's not only the glass that is stronger, but because of the casing, the glass is lowered down into the case, and it's much more protected. The only part where the glass is actually fragile is just the front. Everywhere else is protected, and that's one of the reasons it's harder to break. On the back, you still have last year's glass, which in different kind of drop tests that I've seen on YouTube, I did not dare to do it with my phone, it's still durable, it's still good, but the back does shatter before the front. In terms of the new design, while I do like looking at it, while I am amazed by the beautiful polish that the stainless steel has, holding the phone in your hand for a really long time gets uncomfortable. You always hold your phone like this. You have the pinky that holds the bottom of the phone. And because this is not that rounded design, it's a more flat design, it has the edges. Those edges cut into your finger, not like dangerously cut, but you feel the pressure on your finger after 15-20 minutes of holding the phone. And let's face it, we use our phones, we check it all the time. You commute, you watch a video, you hold it like this. It's not as comfortable as the previous design. Having the iPhone 11 Pro's rounded design really eased up your fingers, and it was a much more comfortable feel when you hold your phone like this. This phone, if you hold it like this, is more rigid, is what I would put. In any way, if I look at these, I prefer this design over this design any day. All in all, if you have this phone and you put it in a case, you might not feel a difference. You have your phone hidden in the case, unless it's a very flat case, you're not gonna feel that this is a new phone. So where does the new things come out? For one, the camera. Now, if you can see, this phone has an additional camera or sensor, which is the Lidar sensor. And I did not know I needed the Lidar sensor until I had it. There are multiple occasions when it was a really positive surprise for me using this scanner to use IKEA's application and put furniture around in the room. And previously I did that. It was never precise. With this, it's 99% of the time precise. You put the chair in the middle of the room, you walk around it, it doesn't wobble around, it doesn't move around. This sensor is truly a great step up in this camera system. Now we have nighttime photography for the wide angle lens. That's a new addition to the camera system over here that we didn't have on the iPhone 11 Pro, which is a great addition. I welcome it very, very much. But nighttime photography, I feel, stayed very similar as in the iPhone 11 Pro versions. Now we do have minor upgrades to the quality of the photos that we make on this phone compared to the 11 Pro. But if you're debating on moving from iPhone 11 Pro to the 12 Pro just because of the camera, I say it's not worth it. If you're on a previous version, if you're on a 10S or an 11 or something, you can justify getting this camera system and paying the extra $100, $200, $300 to upgrade. But just because of the camera system, I would not recommend to swap from an iPhone 11 Pro. And that's somehow the theme of this review is, if you're on the previous version of the Pro, it doesn't really make much sense for you to upgrade unless you really want the new design that you want to look at and want to adore, unless you want the flat screen on the front, which is, I think, a great improvement. In terms of ergonomically using the device, I feel that I have more space. And even though, yes, it's 0.2 inches larger, and you can actually feel the difference. Now, a lot of people say that they feel that the bezels got smaller. I personally feel it got bigger. That's my impression of it. That's how I just feel it. And it kind of bugs me because in the previous version it was a little bit rounded down and you had the optical illusion of it being smaller. Here it's flat, so you see the whole bezel and it's right there in your face. iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, how do they compare to each other? This year, the 12 and 12 Pro are closer than ever. There are three major differences between these two devices. One is the iPhone 12 starts at 64 gigabytes while this starts at 128. The iPhone 12 has aluminum, not stainless steel. And also one more additionally is there's one less camera in the iPhone 12 Pro. It only has two cameras, this has three cameras, and this has the Lidar sensor. So if these things are important, then you have to justify to yourself, is it worth it for the additional money? In terms of performance, this phone is a beast, but you won't realize if you come from an 11 Pro. The A14 is not here to show off now. The A14 is here to show off in 5 years, when it's still going to be a capable processor in this phone. Now, where I live, 5G is not available. Couldn't test it, and I didn't really care. This is something else that is not important now, but will be important 5 years later, when you still have your phone and it's working good, and you're thinking of upgrading, but then you realize you don't need to. You have 5G, it's a good processor, it's good cameras, it's everything you want in this design. This is Apple's first extreme future-proof phone, is what I believe, because none of these things that are in here are realizable right now, but will be in 5 years' time. A very big disappointment for me was MagSafe. Now, it's a really cool addition. A lot of people will buy it because of MagSafe, because you can actually stick stuff to it. It's very weak. I wanted to put this phone on a car holder. I'm afraid it'll drop. I didn't want to use a case with this phone because it's so beautiful, but if it drops, I'm gonna lose my mind. These magnets are not strong enough. They could have went for stronger magnets. They could have went for something that is more grippy, is what I would say. It's not here. It's not here in this iteration. Maybe next year they'll make stronger magnets in them, so they will actually be able to stick to things better, which I think would be a very big improvement in this phone. Other than this, I have a really big gripe with the battery life. Now, I understand that they had to put in 5G antennas and everything, and there was a limited space, but they reduced the battery size compared to the 11 Pro, and I do realize that this phone is 1 hour less battery life than what my iPhone 11 Pro had. The iPhone 11 Pro was the first iPhone I was really, truly happy with the battery life. Now, we're getting back to the same bandwagon. Battery life is an issue with iPhones. Now, it's nothing drastic. You have a Mr. Who's the Boss video, and he proved that you can last these phones for approximately 6 hours, which is great. Not fantastic, it's okay. It's what these phones at this price point are minimum required to do. If you're in Europe, 1,150 euros, which is like $250. You want really amazing battery life. You want 120 Hertz displays. You want the top notch in the Pro models, and that this year sadly didn't happen. All in all, I love this phone. I am in love with it, and that's mostly due to the design. That's mostly due to finally we got back to the roots, and this is my subjective view. If you have this phone, you look at it, you can decide which version is better for you. In terms of colors, it couldn't be more green and blue. Anyway, guys, this was my personal review of this phone after about a week, and thank you very much for watching. Until my next video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't forget there's going to be an iPhone 12 mini giveaway on this channel, and stay safe and hang loose.